What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It's Thursday, noon Central Time. That means it's time for Dispatching Live. We've got Dispatching Live news. We have a special guest today. We have Stan from Super Dispatch joining us talking about load liquidity. That's in about 30 minutes. We got a bunch of news to cover. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here is bring in Sue, jump in the live chat. I work on the news stuff like right up until showtime, and there's a lot. So we're going to get to it. There's a lot to talk about. So, hey, Sue, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
All right, cool. So, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and, we do kind of the screen share dance. And so I'll start with it. Let's do this. Share my screen. See what I'm saying? I got so much going on, like news-wise, I'm barely ready. But, we do have Stan here today. So please do stick around in 30 minutes. We do set your timer, ignore all the news, and just come back for Stan. And then, hit the road again. All the other stuff is just, you already know everything. All right, let's.
I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of stuff today.
Oh my God, there is so much stuff today. Oh my gosh,
I know. Right up till we're going on, I'm sending him stuff.
Right, I know. Well, I'm so glad I have a woke waiver. All right, here we go. Please be aware that in compliance with DEI, the views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinion that may relate directly to ATI Auto Business Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and should not feel they have the right to do so. By the way, if you're just tuning in, I've been reading this disclaimer for weeks, if not months, right? Because we don't know. I tell you, more and more, we are, I don't know, I think we're causing a problem, actually. Anyways, let's keep going. It's an ecosystem. New cars, used cars, auctions, dealers, shippers, services, carriers, brokers, dispatchers. Choose who you don't like and then put it in the live chat. I'm telling you, the fragmentation and the misunderstandings in this ecosystem are wow, unmeasurable. Nonetheless, we've been Auto Transport Community Media since 2017. We're proud to be here. We're actually trying to help. It just may not look like it. You see that? See, that's, if you feel queasy and you're running for the, I don't know if they still have trash cans anymore, but if you're running for one and you feel, strange, it's Dispatching Live Truth. It's having a weird effect on you. Because we're not used to it. So, I always like to say, show me the truck. Show me the truck. This is, okay, DSK. This is a pretty good load. Did you book this?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah, you booked
it. It was 3 of those from Kansas City going down to Dallas. For, I believe it was $1,500.
It's kind of perfect. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
It was nice.
Yeah, man. Rock and roll. One pick, one drop. Then this was on, this is the opposite of that. Somebody shared this and they're using knotted Spanish wine last tension rope to suspend the cars. Look at this car in the sky with the ropes.
Oh my good Lord.
Wow. So you can get cheap. Look, he's standing by, he's at the back doors of a 53-foot dry van or whatever that is. Why not? See, you really can. You can have it your way. Oh my God. What is that system?
The customer might have it his way.
You know how they say $50 less?
Customer's going to get it their way.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's them. You're right.
Do they get the pictures on delivery? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's not that nice of a vehicle, I guess. You know, we just need the parts.
They
we
look
don't
like
really
Copart
need.
or IA,
Look at
but
that. What? Oh
that's
my
some
God.
crazy shit right
That
there,
is
man. Oh my God.
crazy. Oh man.
This is how not to do it. Okay.
This is so great. Oh, I got some videos. Oh no. Are you ready? Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's see it.
It takes a little bit to like absorb what are we looking at, right? What? It's like some strange truck berth in the sky, but okay. So basically, to save money, somebody hit a truck inside of a truck.
Oh my God.
I know. Now that you like, oh yeah. They put a truck inside of it because you know you save money that way.
Wow. Well, not really.
Isn't that
Not
wild?
anymore.
So how did that work out? Here's another one. You can save money. Drop it. Drop it.
What kind of car is that?
I like
It's
how
like
I
a
said
Mustang or
I will
Toyota.
never understand customers who spend 170 grand on a car and then use the cheapest transportation to save $200. That is exactly right. So here's what happened.
70,000
In what's happened is in your life's financial philosophy, you've saved a lot of money over the years because, you know, you cut corners or whatever, and that's great. And that's how you got that expensive car. Guess what? You don't want to do that with transportation.
No.
Spend the extra 100.
And
Come
it's
on.
really hard to explain that to people.
Oh my God. I've tried, and you know what? I think I made a customer upset. As a dispatcher, I was trying to, and I ended up, I apologized for like an hour. I'm like, never mind. I'm sorry. Just, What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What time's your hair appointment? Yeah. No, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
True that.
Check 1, 2, 2. Check. Let's see. Okay, got the. We need the news. Where's the rest of the news at? There is more news. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Oh, here, this is in the. See, transportation's making it to social media, and this is actually part of the message today on Dispatching Live. You need us on that wall. You want us on that wall. Because we're going to say it in a way that is neutral. But when it makes it to social media, party's over. There's no containing this problem. That RAV4's in Tijuana, RN. I don't even know what that means. Woman pays for service to move her car across the country, but it backfires. A TikToker
So you
recently
took it to Tijuana, Mexico?
Well, that's somebody's joke. But, you know, we live in a world now, everybody can weigh in on whatever they want, right? A TikToker recently took to the platform to recount a mishap with a car shipping service that left her. I mean, thank God she didn't mention the company she hired. What if she had? Because it got 2.8 million views. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
You need us on that wall. You do not want to be the car shipping company that messes up her drive and then 3 million people watch it on TikTok. Right?
Wow.
You can't fix that problem. You don't want that
That's
problem.
insane.
I promise. And then, you know, so she says, like, 2 days ago I met with this random guy in a parking lot. We exchanged a few words. I gave him my car. That sounds normal in auto transport. She got a text. Then she gets a text. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Wait a minute. I just met a random guy in a parking lot. You did?
What?
what? And she's like, well, I'm just kind of wondering if I'll ever see my car again. Somebody's like, wow, you're being cool about this. Eat, Pray, Love, RAV4 edition. You are calm. Anyways, it's weird, right? This whole thing's weird, but we're going to see more car shipping horror stories on social media. You should thank ATI. We're trying to help before that happens. But we can't, there's only so much we can do. She said she'll put an update later. Hey, Charles. Shout out Charles Lemons. He put out this really good video. I'm not going to run it. It is a good video. I want you to go watch it. I didn't want the audio. There's a soundtrack. I got to be careful with soundtracks. Even the music on that quick video of the guy crashing the car, YouTube can flag me for blah blah. Anyways, I got to watch out for my own flags. But do check out Charles Lemon's car hauling video. Oh, and you know what? I got the link right here. Charles video. I put the LinkedIn link to his video in the live chat, so you can check that out. Me and Sue are just going to be here blabbing about stuff, so go ahead and go watch the video. Hey, did you get the memo? We got a few memos today. I just want to start off, and I just want to mention, again, we produce content, we're a YouTube video, but we're here to help. When I say ATI Consulting, what am I talking about? We're going to do this is a marketing term, SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. We're going to look at the competition. We're going to look at your product. We're going to identify mistakes. And if you really want to make a difference, ATI Auto Business is the place. But if it's just going to bother people, then, well, I don't know. Because remember how I used to say corner offices? I used to make this joke about people in corner offices and tap them on the shoulder and let them know to watch the show. Guess what? That's happening. And now, I got kicked off of a speaking engagement because of this channel.
Oh,
so
really?
Now it's costing me. I mean, the truth is costing me too. Yeah. No, we're all in trouble here because we're just not ready for this stuff. Did you know Central Dispatch has a Facebook page where everyone is bitching on there? No, I didn't. Let's check it out. So if you go to Central Dispatch Facebook page, here's a post on June 20th. Hey, good morning. We're here. Start off strong. Snacks and coffee. And in the comments, what are you doing about all the scams on your platform? This guy says, your platform's a joke. A lot of us are leaving because you'll not fix it. You don't boot off scammers. I'm just reporting the news. I know. Don't kill the messenger. He's already dead.
Right.
Shippers and carriers, a better way to rate is here. Good news, everybody. This is from February. And in the comments, it's awful. I left a negative rating. It was removed for being inappropriate. Of course, the rating the company left me is still there. Hey, it's a disaster. But they actually got a reply. Thanks for your feedback. We have additional enhancements. Please continue to share your feedback so we can prioritize those enhancements. By the way, me and Ty found the coffee. Do you know why this post got like almost 2,000 views? Because everybody knows what we all know. Okay, we got some coffee. What about all the comments? Right? Yeah, we're living in this it's a really weird situation. All these people know this stuff, and they just don't know where to go to say it. ACV, new load board launching. Successfully launched. New load board filtering using zips, distance, function, mobile devices, expedited jobs. You can use your existing name and password.
We have not figured out how to use it yet.
So it sounds awesome. And then, you said you don't know how to get loads.
We can't. Yeah, we have not. Jen's been trying to figure it out.
So I'm guessing they don't know that. So again, ATI, we're here to help. You should know. We want you to know. I like ACV.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, they're friends of mine, but
Right.
if dispatchers and carriers don't know how to get on the load board, I think they need to know. Right?
Now there is up in the right-hand corner, it says switch to older version, just so everybody knows.
Okay, so
Just
it's
so we
got
can
that
make it
right,
work.
that's what
But
everybody did with Central for like
right,
years.
until they
Yeah.
change it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I really want to know, and I want to know how I can help. And I want ACV to feel welcome to come on the show and share the information. I don't want somebody to feel chapped that ATI pointed out what all the carriers already knew. That's not what I want. I know it can happen. I run the risk. My guys at Dealers Auto Auction in Oklahoma City, where they bought, they took all the trackers out of the cars to make it easy to find the units. You know what? I think ACV bought Dealers Auto Auction Kansas City. Oklahoma City. That's speculation. I think so.
Really?
Yeah. So,
But why would they wouldn't take out?
Well, here's the... Okay, see, this gets into part of the problem. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this. This is what I've learned, is that if an auction changes hands, all the vendors usually go with it. Not all of them, but now that somebody else has the auction, they have they can change all the vendor relationships. So, who owned Dealers Auto Auction Oklahoma City before? And I think it was McConkey. I'm not 100% on that. And so, who was the vendor for McConkey at Dealers Auto Auction Oklahoma City, speculating live, that had the trackers in the vehicles? Was it Cognosis? Because I don't think it was Mannheim Lot Vision. So you see where I'm headed. Now, does ACV have vehicle tracking technology they're going to put in the units? Maybe, probably. So it's not that you can't track cars, it's just that they're in the middle of a transition. Again, this is my guess and speculation live, but this is actually why it goes to a bigger point. It doesn't matter what you prefer to use. It matters what vendor has the business relationship. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So, and
doesn't help when you're there right now, though.
Well, and I'm going to drive it home. If the whole world prefers chocolate ice cream, but vanilla has the relationship, guess which flavor you're going to get when you go there? You understand? Okay.
Yep.
I know it's harsh. It is harsh, but it's real. That's real. Okay. Hey, I've been waiting an hour for this stupid bot thing. It's been like for over a week. So, don't worry. Everybody's going to get their turn here on Dispatching Live. Okay, this is an actual bot. Hey, got a question? I'm here to help. Okay, choose from the following. I'm a carrier or I'm a customer. Okay, so you chose I'm a carrier.
See what time. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to register to haul, book a new load, help with an existing load, got technical issues, payment status? By the way, are these clickable buttons or do you have to type it?
You have to type, well, you click the button and then you have to type in everything. And that isn't even, I still never got in anybody until like, actually, I don't think they ever answered me. I finally got off at noon.
Because I'm thinking,
I gave up.
How would a carrier engage in this system while driving?
Well, true. Very true.
I actually was wondering that.
Especially.
And I don't, again, we're here to help. I think it's a good question. Now, somebody could say, how dare he? Well, I'm just asking. I think I don't know. And so you're saying it didn't help you?
No, I like I said, I kept it on there till noon. I finally called. So I called in. I finally got through to somebody, and then they said for some reason they couldn't hear me. I think they're using those VoIP phone systems because they're cheap. But anyways, they kept going in and out, in and out. And I said, can you just call me back? She calls back. It hangs up on me. Then I have to wait for another hour for them to call me back. Crazy.
So, Sue, true or false? Because this system needs an update? Or it's good?
Oh, yeah.
It needs an update?
No,
okay.
Sucks.
Okay, all right. You say, hey, I didn't say it.
Needs a major update. This has been going on for at least 2 weeks of this. At least 2.
All right, I didn't say this either. I'm not even going to read it. All right? But this was left in the comments on my YouTube channel. Now, what's interesting, too, is if you read the words in the comment under the video, those are 2 I mean, technically 2 different companies, but it seems like a lot of people have already
Right.
made this association. I didn't point it out.
Right.
Somebody else said it. I'm just sharing it. And but you got a story. I don't know what it is. And try to be gentle. Again, I'm not going to read the words on the page. But what Sue, what story? I know you have a story you got to tell. What is it?
Well, so I took a load, yeah, 2 days ago, and scheduled a pickup of 3 units in Alabama going into Topeka, Kansas. It was 3 vehicles picking up from a residence. Verified everything, got over there, and this guy had literally filled up all 3 vehicles to the brim, like to the roof. One was an old Cadillac, so you know how much shit you can put in that. And then there was a little tiny Miata. It was full all the way up to except for the driver's seat. Then the Jeep was full. So I called them up and I said, and they wanted pictures. So I sent them pictures. And I'm like, I know you guys don't tell these people that they can do this. And she's like, well, they can have up to 100 pounds in it. I said, well, we're way over 100 pounds. And if there was going to be over 100 pounds in there, someone should have told us because it's illegal. It's illegal to put anything in this car. And so I said, I need more money to take these vehicles because I said, my driver's going to basically have to drive at night, try to skip scales, stuff like that, because we're going through Missouri. We all know how Missouri is, right? And I said, I need $300 more. So this girl I'm talking to keeps saying, okay, just pick up the cars. We'll take care of it. I said, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear that. I need to know if you're going to pay this because I'm not picking up the cars until you say that you're going to pay this. And she kept saying, just pick up the cars. We'll take care of it. And that's how she worded it. Just pick up the cars. We'll take care of it. And I'm like, that's not an answer. I need more than that. I need you to change it on the website for the load board, blah, 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 blah. She goes, just pick up the cars. We'll get it changed. I said, so you're going to change it from 1,500 or whatever it was to 1,800. She goes, yes, we will do that. Go ahead and pick up the cars. Okay. All right. I tell him to go pick up the cars. And I said, I kept calling her. I'm like, it hasn't been changed. It hasn't been changed. We're going to change it. And oh, I forgot. No, wait. First, she calls me back after we pick up the cars and she says, well, we can only do $100. I said, that's not good enough. I'll take the cars back right now. And she's like, well, we can do 200. I said, no, you agreed to 300. I'm not playing this game with you guys. You guys always do this stupid crap and I'm not doing it. And the poor girl, of course, she's just answering back and forth with the manager. I'm reaming her. And so, and of course, her name is Nancy, and we all know it's not Nancy because they're all foreigners. But, anyways, um, so poor Nancy's getting the reaming from me saying, I'm like, I need this money put on there, right? And she's doing, well, this is what they're telling me with the managers. I said, well, I don't care what the manager said. You agreed to 300 before I even picked these cars up. I need it changed right now. And so, of course, she's going back and forth. Finally, she comes back. She goes, okay, we'll give you the $300. I'm like, okay, she go change it on the load board. So I wait an hour, still not changed. Call back, text, and still not changed. She calls me back and she's like, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, still not changed. It took me almost 4 hours for them to finally change it and 3 different people for them to finally change it. So they were trying, this is what I think, trying to shaft me, obviously, but thought if I left that I would just deal with it. But little did they know, my driver was still sitting there waiting to get the okay until we actually moved. Plus, he was waiting for it to cool down and drive at night. But like I told him, if we hadn't gotten it, I would have held them until we got the right amount of money put on there. So yes, it took me 4.5 hours to get the right money put on there after they kept lying to me back and forth, and it was a real pain in the butt. And we all know who it was. So there we go. So watch yourself. Needless to say, as a broker, everybody should always ask them if there's stuff in the car for a residence. And this
Right.
wasn't technically a residence. This was supposed to be a business from his home business going to a dealership. Never would have thought
Oh,
that it
no
would
way.
load it
Going
up.
to a dealership.
Left him at a dealership. Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, isn't that weird? And loaded. I mean,
What?
I should have sent you the pictures. I
Even the
totally forgot
dealer
about it.
would know. Now, what? Now, this is interesting. Let me ask: the location to location, picking up at a
It was supposed to
residence.
be residence/business and going to a dealership.
To do and what happened at the dealership? Was another person picking it up there, or
No, he was coming there to pick him up from the dealership. Weird.
Wow,
And when my driver dropped today, he said it was just a really weird situation
that
because
is weird.
even the dealership guy that we dropped to said it was bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's I talk about customers jumping on, or not customers, cashiers jumping on grenades. In that, when you go to a fast food restaurant and you're unhappy with the fries, just replace the fries. Don't argue.
Right. Right.
But some cashiers, they're either trained or it's just innate. They're like, oh yeah, no, well those fries were fine when you picked them up. Like, what are you talking about? Just give me my, come on, just fix the
Right.
fries.
And the customer should be always right, right?
Yeah, just fix. And the problem is the story you told, the dispatch games. I'm trying to tread
Yes.
lightly here, but my gosh, I went through it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's actually part of the reason I started this show.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's
Well,
unfortunate.
it's
It's and here's the problem. That's fine. It's all just drama and what do they call it? Circle, whatever, knitting circle talk. But the client, see, let's go back to the customer. The client, the customer, the person that pays the larger bill to make these vehicles get moved doesn't know all this crap. Doesn't want to know all this crap. And if they could
right.
have heard the phone call of the bait and switch of the rate, they would be horrified.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
now if they are
here's
not
the thing.
horrified, then the whole thing's
Then
really broken.
really right.
Like the
Well,
customer's like, yeah, awesome, screw them out of $50.
well, right. And see, and here's the thing. And I told that lady, I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, me asking for $300 is a whole lot cheaper than him renting a freaking
Oh
U-Haul and taking
my
all this
god!
shit.
And that's part of it too.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
50
And
bucks, $100 for
exactly.
a car, for all
Well,
the insurance that needs to get paid, and the equipment, and the time, and the danger, and the road. I mean, come on.
well, and
You
we
can't
explained
be
it
serious. You've
to
never
the
been outside
guy.
this office.
Right. And we explained it to the guy. And once we explained to him that, it's legal and we're going to have to do this and this is not how this works and it should have been explained to you, he was totally apologetic and said, I will get you extra money. Well, yeah, that's extra money, but you're not paying us. The broker is. And here's my question, because this is what I think went down. I think they asked the guy for more money than what I was asking so they could make more money too.
No
Don't
way.
you?
No way.
I absolutely
What?
believe that. I believe that
That's
100%.
terrible.
I think that's why they were playing with the money. That's why I think was going on.
Well, and,
So-
and we're gonna stop here. I realize now we're having fun and now we're just chapping. But
Yeah.
let's go to the next slide. See, this was a very interesting lesson, and I know we've had our fun. But this is
Yeah.
a case study in if you go too long without paying attention, and then you put somebody in a position to make a really, really bad decision, this can happen. You don't want to be this company. You do not want to be on the million viral TikTok where something really dumb happened. Something unavoidable happened. Don't do it. We are trying to help. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I was thinking this earlier. It's like Saddam Hussein. Okay, that's ATI. Remember when Bush went in and kicked Saddam out of Iraq?
Yes.
You know who filled in his shoes? It was way worse. Okay? So, if you think it's tough to listen to us talk, wait until you hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You don't want to hear that. And I post this too. This is a video that I shared. This is a video that chapped a lot of people. This was news. I realize we're in an industry not used to news being shared. But you can't stop it any longer. Social media, people are already talking and sharing. We already looked at the Central Dispatch Facebook page. It's out there, man. And I'm trying to do it in a professional, newsworthy way. I'm really trying to help. So when automotive politics, has a beef with each other for checking out ATI, listen, man, we're trying to help. She's all grossed out, and he's like, "Hey, ATI." We're the neutral zone. That's what we do here. It's not easy to do. It's a really difficult dance. And I always say this, welcome to Auto Transport. Oh my gosh. We have got a whole lot more show. We're going to go into Welcome to Auto Transport. You can do whatever you want. But we're first going to go to, we're going to bring in Stan from Super Dispatch. Okay. And also, I just want to say thanks for jumping in the live chat. I know we didn't even get to hello live chat. I knew time was going to move fast. I just want to give shout outs. Daryl, Glenn Transport, Brovachaz Lemons, Danny B, Super Dispatch, Jess K, Super Ben is here, and Victory Lap Transport, awesome, and BGA. Thank you guys so much for saying hello and chiming in. And let us know if we're saying anything that 1,000 other people aren't already saying right now. Just let me know what it is. I really would love to know. Because we're just reporting the news. That's all we're just a sounding board. Don't kill the sounding board. Okay, let's do this. We'll be right back after this with Stan from Super Dispatch, so stick around.
Hey, it's August. You know what that means. It's time for our August Lucky Load winner. Hey, and remember, if you want to be a Lucky Load winner, you must be a verified carrier, you must use SuperPay, and you must book a load on Super Loadboard.
Hey guys, this is Ben from the SuperPay team. Today is a very exciting day. We're gonna call our next Lucky Load winner. Just a reminder, to win in the Lucky Load, you have to be a verified carrier, have to have SuperPay set up, and book a load from our Super Load board. So let's do this. Today, to help me, I've got Brittany.
Hi everybody! Today we will be giving a call to, let's see here, drum roll, MWD.
Hello?
Hi, is this Igor?
Who?
Igor!
I don't know what the evening is.
Are you serious? This is Brittany with Super Dispatch.
What the do you all do? I mean,
So I called the wrong number. We're gonna give it another shot here with Igor. Hi, is this Igor?
Yeah, this is Igor. How can I help you?
Hi, Igor. This is Brittany English with Super Dispatch. So, have you heard about our Lucky Load?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You, Igor, are the winner. MWD Co. is the winner this month.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. So, you know, I'm just confused. I don't know what to say.
No, you're fine. I'm so happy. I'm glad I got to tell you. And I just wanted to thank you for your business with us. We so appreciate having amazing customers like you.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
The next evolution of moving cars faster, smarter, and easier is here. SuperPay by Super Dispatch. Today, shippers waste hours managing fragmented payment systems. And carriers are left wondering, never knowing when they'll finally get the payment they're owed. SuperPay saves everyone time and hassle by securely automating payment upon proof of delivery. No more tracking down payments or onboarding carriers to disconnected payment systems. With integrated payments with SuperPay, Super Dispatch is now the only end-to-end, all-in-one auto transport platform. Automate payments where you automate transport.
Super Dispatch, TMS, mobile app, Super Loadboard, and SuperPay, helping carriers, dispatchers, brokers, and shippers move cars and get paid fast on one auto transport platform. Visit superdispatch.com. All right, cool. Thanks so much for sticking around. Let's do this. Let's just jump right in. Please do help us wish a very warm welcome to Stan of Super Dispatch. Oh, Stan, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can see you and hear you loud and clear. Jay, thanks for having me, too. It's wonderful to connect again. How are you?
Yeah. Awesome. I'm fine. How are you?
Awesome.
Doing great. I'm doing great.
We've got a couple topics, but before we get to topics, for anyone that isn't familiar with who you are and what you do, please say hello and tell us a little bit more.
Who I am and what I do, or who Super Dispatch is and what we do?
Well, all of it, I guess.
Yeah. So Super Dispatch, for those of you who aren't aware, or maybe not know everything about what we do, is actually probably one of the things that we need to just create more familiarity with around the marketplace. We are an end-to-end platform specifically designed for auto transport, right? So we are, a shipper TMS. We are a load board. We are a carrier TMS. We are a mobile app. We have payments. So it's in one end-to-end technology solutions, purpose-built for the people who watch your show, right? To make their lives easier. My role within the organization is actually, Jay, yesterday I celebrated my 1-year anniversary with Super Dispatch. So it seems
wow. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'll tell you, I have learned a ton watching this show.
Oh, no way.
During my interview process,
that means a lot.
joining
really?
Super Dispatch.
Thank you. I've had people tell me that, and I love it every time.
Yeah, so it's been
so
truly educational, not just for people who do the job, but people who are coming into the industry. So, but for Super Dispatch, I lead our go-to-market efforts, so sales, marketing, and customer success.
So, all right, we know, here's the good news, right? What's cool is you laid out very well the full suite of the product. Right. And we know that, if we look in the live chat, we don't have to look far to find a Super Dispatch fan of your software. We don't.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but I guess the question then is, of the fans of Super Dispatch, how many of your products are the fans familiar with? It's a question. But It's not our focus today. But anyways, just mentioning it.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting question, right? Because the company's been around for many years now. Pushing almost 10 years. But a long history of our business has been supporting drivers and carriers, right? So if you look at the majority of the people who are familiar with us, who have exposure to us, it is the carrier side. It is the core audience of this show, right? So whether it's an owner or operator who is making their living as a full-time car hauler, it's somebody who does it as a side hustle to pay for college or whatever it might be, or just to make a little extra money on the side. We have a really large audience in that sense, and then up to fleets, right? So if you're a fleet, whether you have 10 or 20 or 50 drivers or whatever it might be, we have a lot of familiarity on that side. I think because we have so much familiarity and because so many of the shippers get BOLs from carriers who use Super Dispatch, there was I think a perception in the industry for a long time of like, oh, you're the carrier guys, right? You guys work with carriers. But in reality, we have an unbelievable shipper technology also. So we have a wonderful shipper TMS platform. And then we have that amazing load board, what we're going to spend the most time talking about today. And that load board is really sort of the linchpin, that holds both sides together. It is one integrated, suite. It's one integrated tool, which is, nice. One thing happens in the mobile app, it happens in the shipper TMS, it happens in the carrier TMS. Everything is, real time integrated. So, I mean, that's the beauty of staying within a closed network. But yeah, I think most people are familiar with our carrier products. I think where we're trying to work is get a lot of exposure to the shipper technology as well.
I was actually working, I was in a meeting with a shipper, and I got to see the shipper. They were sharing their shipper side of the TMS just to make a point about something. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm seeing it from the shipper's point of view, meaning that there's now so much software, there's many things to look at, many points of view. And I just think that I like talking about it because the better one understands the way these parts all connect. That way now you understand how the car works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also, so much of the world, people look at it through their lens. And it's funny, right? Because leading the sales team, whether it's our new sales team and we're talking to prospects that are shippers, or it's maybe somebody who has a small fleet that wants to come to us and say, hey, we need a carrier TMS or we need to add more drivers. we always demo and show both sides of the product. So I don't just show shippers the shipper side. We don't just show carriers the carrier side. We always show each other like when you do this, this is exactly what the carrier will see in real time. When if you post a load and the driver takes a photo or does whatever, and the shipper team this is what you see in real time. And it just gives everybody that full picture to see like, hey, what is really happening in the real world. So yeah,
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Really helpful.
And I just used that the other day, in fact. So we were delivering a car and there was damage to it, or not delivering it. We were picking up a car and there was damage to it and they wanted to see it. And I said, go on there right now and they can look at it. It was awesome. And then they're like, yeah, you can go ahead and pick it up, that kind of thing. So
good. Yeah. Well, thank you always for your support too. We know, you're a true believer in the platform. So
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it.
Thanks.
So, yeah, and that's all true. I mean, that's really cool. And I have been saying industry preferred mobile app for quite a while. I think that is the consensus. If you ask the live chat, which mobile app do you prefer to use? I think they're going to say Super Dispatch.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about, we're calling this show Load Liquidity.
Yeah.
Now, you introduced this term to me. Will you introduce it on the stage, please?
Yeah, sure. When I think of liquidity, really it's around, if you think of a marketplace, no matter what kind of marketplace it is, whether it's eBay or it's Super Dispatch or Facebook Marketplace, liquidity is just if something gets made available in the marketplace, at what rate is that either bought or selected, whatever it might be, right? So, and there's a match. You're trying to match on both sides, right? I am going to a marketplace to post something because I have a need. I need to find somebody who will find value in what I'm posting, sharing, trying to sell, whatever it might be. And then on the flip side, like, why would I go to a marketplace, right? I might go to a marketplace because I'm in need of something. I might be in need of, it's funny, like I was on eBay. I have a 12-year-old 4Runner. I'm in need of seat covers for my 4Runner. So like I went to a marketplace, right? I was in need of somebody to fix some, oh gosh, what is it called on your house?
Like awnings, roof?
Not the awning. Yeah, the under part of your roof. Not the awning.
Oh, shoot. I should know. I know. I know.
Yeah, we'll all come to it later.
Yeah, somebody will put it in the live chat.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we are, in this instance, we're a marketplace where car haulers and shippers are trying to find each other. And the liquidity is at the rate at which they find each other.
And so, exactly. All right. So, and actually, I started thinking cash liquidity, right? If you're talking in financial terms, one of the parts of a financial outlook, and I'm going to get some of these terms wrong, but how much cash do we have on hand?
Sure.
Right? The accountant wants to know. The CFO wants to know, because that's going to affect. So, liquidity.
Yeah.
And how fast can we make things move? So load liquidity, this is an important thing because people ask, and I shared it, I saw the post that Super Dispatch had of today's show, thank you so much, and I reshared it on LinkedIn, and that is that if you're posting a load and it's not moving, this gets into viscosity, right? Viscosity is a strange term. Higher viscosity means it's moving less.
Yep.
You want low viscosity. You want low load viscosity. What are you doing wrong? We're assuming.
Sure.
So as the shipper or broker, you posted the load. What have you done wrong where that load is still sitting there? Either the rate's wrong, the locations are wrong, what is it? What have you done wrong?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things we're trying to get better at. We are creating the tools for people to be able to post and search for loads themselves, but we're continuously trying to improve those tools. Patrick, who's one of the members of our team, he was a broker for a long period of time, and he has taught me some great tricks around. You mentioned location. Like, how could your location be wrong, Jay? It's where the vehicle is, or it's where the vehicle's going. And then he was like, well, actually, think about, if you've got a vehicle that is in, I think the example he showed me was like central Wisconsin, someplace like way off the beaten path. He's like, if you post a vehicle in central Wisconsin, he's like, it's probably not going to get found. But if you post it in the next nearest city and then put in the notes like, hey, this vehicle is actually in this other town, then that's an example of like, hey, what can you do to get more eyeballs on what you have in the market?
Now, it's really interesting you mentioned that, because then the techniques you employ to get more eyeballs, you have to be careful.
Sure.
With the way you and how much you use those techniques.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No
but
doubt.
that's really interesting that you pointed out that example, because that's right, Sue. That's a technique.
Yes.
Technique, right?
Actual pickup, actual delivery.
Technically, don't really like.
Well,
people
it's an
don't like
overused
it, right?
technique.
But think about like it depends on what you're trying to do. And so one of the things we're going to talk about are load alerts today. You know, and so a load alert from the super load board says, you know, I want to find things within a radius, a certain mileage of a pickup destination or a drop-off destination or even a load along the route, right? I'm going from Atlanta to Kansas City, and I'm willing to pick something up that's within 50 miles off my route, right? So, you know, I think it's just an alternative way of doing something like that we're trying to make happen programmatically on the product.
Well, I'll agree with you to a certain extent, but some of them are really crazy. Okay.
Yeah,
when
you've
they're
probably seen less crazy than I have.
Yeah. Well, and like the other day, a big company put one on there, and they listed it in Olathe, and then they listed it in Shawnee, Kansas. Okay, same area. Why?
Okay.
Why even bother doing that? Right?
Yeah, that's interesting. Why would it list it twice?
Now.
Those are literally the
why
same
would you?
areas,
I mean, in Shawnee and Olathe, the same area. So that part didn't make any sense to me either.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. So sometimes I think it's overused.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't understand posting it twice. That sounds unique, but
that sounds good. Yeah. That sounds unique. I'm going to start using that. Sue, that sounds very unique. Yeah, that's good. Hey, so we were Stan is like, what have I done? Okay, so we want to talk about number one. Super Dispatch load board is free.
Yes.
Correct.
It's free.
Yes. Right. If you're a carrier, it is, you know, the Super Dispatch platform from the carrier side. You know, we want to make lives easy for carriers and drivers, and we want to have our platform be available to support shippers, right? Because, you know, if the car doesn't move, if there's no carrier there, then, you know, what are we doing, right? So you as a carrier, if you're using our technology just to either get direct load offers from one of our shippers, or pull loads or bid on loads or request loads directly, whatever it might be, from the load board, it is free to use. There's a paid version of the product. We have plenty of people who pay for the product. They love it. It's great. But there's an absolute free version of it that you can use to make your livelihood.
And if you're a carrier or a dispatcher, you can look for loads on Super Dispatch, and it's free.
Absolutely correct.
Right. So that's a great starting place, and that's why you encourage people when you get up in the morning, get your coffee, and fire up Super Dispatch load board. Is that right?
That is what we would recommend. You know, I think there's a couple things I want to draw that are, you know, things that are specific to us, maybe that the rest of the industry may not do. So yes, it's free, but one of the things, you still can't request a load, Jay, unless you become verified, right?
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Right.
Yeah, right. So you can lurk and look and, you know, use it even just for pricing if you want, right? If you just want to be like, hey, what's happening in this market? I just want to see what's happening and use it as a litmus test to see if you're charging the right rates, whatever it might be. And we have some great pricing insight tools for that. But one of the things, you know, we're trying to create a really trustworthy platform for shippers and carriers, right? So even though it's free, you have to go through what is a very simple verification process. So, you know, we have to get your US DOT cert. We have to get a copy of your cargo insurance. Your authority must be active. You know, we collect your W-9. We get all of those things, then we mark you as a verified carrier. And once you're marked as a verified carrier, then you can request loads from any of the shippers that are posting. But it should theoretically save you a bunch of time because you're not having to send a W-9 to every single shipper then that you're working with. having to send your insurance to everybody that you're working with. It's housed in our system, and then any shipper can see it anytime they need to look at it.
And just to interpret, I mean, we're all used to some form of packet and information stored with a load board or a broker or a location. So this isn't that much different. And,
we're decentralizing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're decentralizing it. And the other thing is we're doing shipper verification too, right? We're making sure that any broker that's on our platform is an authorized broker. We're making sure that we want to protect the carriers who trust us, to make sure that they're working with reputable shippers the same way we want to trust, give our shippers a good experience, making sure that they're going to have a good experience, hopefully with carriers, right? So we're doing verification and validation on both sides of the house.
Which, as we know, because double brokering is becoming a more popular topic.
Yep.
In fact, I've got more of that in the second half of the news, but yeah, people, and this is one of the big complaints. When people talk about scammers or scam brokers or double brokering or all this stuff, how much of that do you think gets cleared up by verifying the shipper? I don't know.
Hopefully you don't have a lot. Listen, no system's perfect. One of the things you were talking about earlier, I think, Sue, you were talking about one of your customer support experiences that was quite difficult, right? I think one of the things we will pride ourselves in is having really strong customer support. So it's not just to the shippers and it's not just to the dispatchers, but it's also to the drivers. So, and it's for all sorts of things, right? It's hey, I have a question about this. Hey, how do I do this? I can't get this to work. But it's also, if somebody's suspecting something nefarious taking place, they can report it and our compliance team looks into it and we'll get back to you and we'll tell you exactly what we think and what actions we took and why, right? So I think, there's a care component that we try to bring that isn't necessarily part of the fee structure. That is something I think that's pretty unique as well.
that would be a good one. That would be it, Sue. Next time you're in that argument, they're like, but we are caring. We got to charge you for that. Caring.
You're paying for the goodwill.
You're paying for the goodwill.
Well, it's funny. I had never heard this story. Beck told this story to someone else, and I was just in earshot, and I can't remember what it was. But he had said years ago, we had actually tried to do what a lot of other companies are doing, where you bury your phone number and you make it, chat is number 1 and then bot is number 2 or vice versa. And then the help desk is number 3. And then, maybe they'll figure out it on their own as number 4. And then like the phone number is number 5, right? And it turns out, I think he went to AHA conference or wherever it was. And somebody was like, hey, if I have a problem, I'm driving. I can't chat. I can't do this. I can't do that. I need to be able to call somebody. And he said he came back from the conference and immediately put the phone number all over the place. So if you look at our website, if you look at Super Dispatch and you look in the top right-hand corner, the phone number's there.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, it's right there, and it's there. And we, hopefully our support team is a bunch of them that are here online listening to this.
High pressure. Oh, there it is.
Go. Yeah.
There's the phone number.
If you have a problem, call us.
No way.
And here, I will say this. As we all know, the big CD does not help with payments, right? When someone doesn't pay us, a broker. We had a situation with the broker not paying us, and guess who called them and found out why we hadn't gotten paid? You guys did.
Oh, that's
nobody
amazing.
else does that.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
nobody
wow.
else does that. And of course, the guy was lying to you guys, but either way.
What?
Said he didn't have our W-9. I'm like, it's on Super Dispatch, including our payment terms and our voided check and, all that stuff's there. And I don't think I still been paid yet. But either way, you guys went about it and went and contacted them and told them, why haven't you paid us? So, and nobody else does that. Nobody does. So there you have it.
Well, that's it's great to hear when the team can help. And that's good for our support folks to hear. Like everybody knows that they helped out,
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that story, Sue.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So the load board. You want to talk about the load board?
I want to talk about load board and or load alerts. Take it away.
Well, load alert. So you said earlier, this is our recommendation. Clearly, we're biased, right? We think that if you're a carrier, you should start your mornings if you're looking for loads, or a dispatcher, right, Sue? With
Yes.
Super Dispatch, looking at the load board. If you have, if you need to keep the truck full, or if you got some open slots, whatever it might be, you should either start your day looking at the Super Dispatch load board, or set up a load alert, right? Load alert, I think of it as, I'm sure you guys both have Hulu or YouTube TV,
Right.
or
I get
every
YouTube
dispatching
short
service,
alerts.
or, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I get alerts for YouTube shorts based on previous, and I like it. Yeah,
It's the same concept, right? Instead of picking your favorite channels or sports teams or whatever it is, a load alert is just an opportunity for you to pick your favorite lanes or routes, whatever it might be, and they can be perpetual. You can set them up and say, for anything from Atlanta to anywhere within 500 miles of Atlanta, I just want to constantly keep that going, right? I just want that to be perpetual. But if somehow I find myself in Albuquerque, and I know I'm going to be there 10 days from now or 7 days from now, and I'm normally not there, I can find something that says, find me from something from Albuquerque back, as an example, but have that thing expire in 7 days. I don't need it beyond then, right? But you can find out those alerts, and you can have them be time-based. You can have, I only need to know about them today, whatever it is. But it's just let the system work for you, right? Instead of having to go hunt and find things, you can wake up and either get a text message on your phone, you get an email in your inbox, you get a push notification directly into the TMS that says, this meets the criteria that you have pre-selected. Take a look.
that is awesome. So, what's it like to set that up? Because that's the next question, right?
Yeah,
How
it's
is it?
super simple. I mean, I can show you directly, Jay, if it's probably easier. Let me just pull it up.
Yeah.
We'll do some real-time demos. You guys can see my screen here with the load board.
Yeah.
So this is just the standard load board, sorted by newest loads first, and then I can search city or zip code, whatever it might be, pick up locations, and I can search for loads with an advanced search, right? Whatever it is, where am I going to pick up? Where am I going to search? I can search along the route, help me find something along the way, but I can create a load alert. I can save
there
this
it is.
search.
It's a
I just
checkbox.
click This little button here.
Okay.
Or I can just create one on the side doing the same thing, right?
Oh, okay. 2 spots. Got it.
Exactly. And when I do one, so this is an example, I mentioned this one earlier. This is one that just
there are the load alerts. Oh, wow.
from Atlanta, within 50 miles of Atlanta, to anywhere within 500 miles of Atlanta, just an example, right? Sort them for me, and then these are all the alerts, all the loads that match my criteria. But then when an alert would come up as either an email, right? So I would get an email.
Oh, no way.
These loads match my criteria, right? And you can see what the loads are. So I can get them that way, or I can get them as a text message.
No
right?
way. That's awesome.
Yeah. These loads match my criteria, right? And then also, you didn't see it when I was there in the app, but if one popped up as we were talking, I would get a little notification in real time that would pop up and say, hey, like an alert, a load that meets your criteria has just come alive. So I would get effectively like a push notification within the UI.
And I want to say, wow, that was really cool. And what's great about just showing us that is that you pulled up the load board. I could see the load board, but I didn't realize load alerts was right in front of me. I didn't even realize it.
Hiding in plain sight, Jay.
Hiding in plain sight. So just that 30-second, 60-second information opened my eyes to another option. And I also want to say is that the searching for loads is still busy enough to where if you have a dispatcher, have your dispatcher help you set this stuff up. There's still a lot to do.
Yeah. Well, and a dispatcher might be working for 5 different drivers.
Exactly.
Right? In 5 different parts of the country or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And so, if I have, Sue and you and I have talked about this where you're not really working with folks who are just like, doing, one lane over and over again. You're kind of just, nationwide and going wherever the money is. But, if that was a scenario, if I'm going from point A to point B and then point B back to point A, theoretically, that's 2 load alerts. And if I'm a dispatcher for 5 drivers, that now becomes 10 load alerts. So instead of having to search 10 different lanes constantly, just set up 10 load alerts.
It's interesting because this is why I would have 3 screens with 5 route searches per screen.
Yeah.
Because I knew I booked the not the key load, not the gold load, but I booked a load that I knew, okay, now we're going to New Orleans. We're committed. Right. So I need to fill the truck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think in this example, if I'm a dispatcher and I'm working somebody who just lives in the Michigan to Northern Kentucky, Ohio area, I can have this load alert. I can, do the reverse route. And then, all right, I've got Jay figured out. Let me see what Sue needs. Okay, this is Sue's southeastern load alert scenario. And then you can just create as many as you want. And then you can see these. I've got these just set to expire on August 31st. I can extend them. I can do whatever I want. But it's the first time I ever heard, what, Jay, you'll love this. Guess where the very first time I ever heard work smarter, not harder?
Oh. It's pretty common, but I don't know.
Sue, do you have a guess?
Are you going to say Jay?
No, it was Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
See,
okay.
now that, yeah.
So this is, I always, whenever I think of load alerts, I always think of Scrooge McDuck. We're working smarter, not harder.
Think of how much we learned from Hanna-Barbera when we were kids, right?
Yeah,
oh my
watch out
gosh.
for frying pan.
So much stuff.
Yeah.
Really great. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think it's just, like I mentioned, when I create a load alert, one of the things I just wanted to say is,
yes,
it's not just the city locations. You can search for vehicle types that match your profile. Most of the stuff on our cars are, sedans or SUVs or pickups or whatever they might be, but there are other types of vehicles that get moved that if you really specialize.
I'm looking for livestock.
Yeah. Funny enough, we do get some livestock that gets moved across the system every now and then, which is pretty funny.
Well, it's the way it's gone.
But every now and then,
yeah.
If you specialize in ATVs or you specialize in boats or whatever it is, you can search for these things and create alerts that if you just want to know when the anomalies get posted, you can create just your boat alert or whatever it might be, which is an interesting thing to do.
That is.
You can specify based on billing types. You can specify based on, op or in-op, whether it's open or closed or drive away. You're right. If you're a company that has built a lot of drive away, whatever it might be. And then more importantly, what are your price? Like, don't just hide all the stuff that's below what I'm willing to spend my time.
Oh, price filters are major time savers. Yeah.
Exactly. So you really have a lot of flexibility in how you set these up. I set some very basic ones up, but you can set them up to really sort of hone in on, exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking for that boat, Jay, from Jacksonville to wherever you want to take it at a minimum price point, this is your load alert. You can set it up.
There we go. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think, load alerts are great. Other than that, it's the load board. You can, it's. I think you see, this is that's actually this is us. We just created this demo one because I didn't want to click on a real one, right? But when I see a load, just for everybody who's not familiar with our load board, you can see the destination. What's the curb weight of what I'm looking to do? Are there any special instructions? What are my payment rates? I have to agree to T's and C's, right? And I can choose to book this right now. Man, am I getting a fair price? This is one thing, Jay and Sue. Sue, I don't mean to keep leaving you out.
You're fine.
If I look at pricing insights and I want to see, that Lexus model, let's just pick a different Lexus model. And I want to look at what's happening with that load. This would be normally a $600 load or whatever it might be, as opposed to the as opposed to the $2 that Jessica was trying to pay me to move this load here earlier. So you
That's
can
cool.
use our tool, the Pricing Insights tool.
Insights.
Yeah, Pricing Insights is free. It's on our website. You can just check it out anytime. And again, it's to help you as a shipper or a carrier understand
That's awesome.
what the market's trying to do. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Great segment. Great share.
Absolutely.
Can you believe it's already been... You've already been with us for like 30 minutes. Was it painful?
It wasn't painful. It was amazing. I didn't realize I was going so long, so I apologize.
No, it's
you're
fine.
fine. It's great.
This show flies by. I mean, for us, not for anybody watching.
Yeah. Jay, before I leave, can I suggest a couple more things? And this is something
do it.
that
Take
I
it away.
think would behoove carriers, behoove drivers, right? And Sue, I'm really curious as to how you guys do this. If you have a good experience with a shipper, do you leave a review?
Yes.
You guys leave a review. Okay.
If it's a good experience without any problems, do you take the time to leave a review? Because I think that is it where we're at?
Well,
Yes.
people
And
only
I'll
leave
tell
a
you
review
what
if
I
it's
like
bad.
is it comes up on the screen too to remind
Yeah.
you to do it. So I like that too.
Oh, yeah, that's good. A prompt. I agree with that.
Yeah.
A prompt to leave a review usually gets much higher action than...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always push the button.
I agree with that. As visual prompt. Yeah.
So I think one of the things I would say is don't just leave a review when you have a bad experience. Leave a review when you have a great experience. And then secondly, one of the features that we have that was on the load board, we didn't see it, is the ability to book now. Same as, just buy now on eBay or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
It's something that shippers can set up, and then they can deem specific carriers that they just trust well enough to say, like, hey, if they see this, they can book it now. I don't need to talk to them. The price is right, whatever it is. So I always say, like, hey, pick at least 5 carriers when you're joining our system. Like, if you would trust them to move your mom's car, put them as a carrier that you trust to say book now. So you're a carrier, and you've had a really good experience with a shipper. Ask them to mark you as someone who can book now.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, ask them
awesome.
to mark you as a is that a preferred carrier, or is there a status title for that or anything?
Yeah, yes, it's in
fact, it'd be cool if that was just a checkbox. Please add me to. Yeah.
It's a
That's neat.
We used to call it preferred carriers. We call it instant booking now. And so in the system, it's called can instantly book. And so you say, hey, all right, I've now deemed this organization as one that can instantly book my load.
Which is interesting, because that gets into, there is a question that floats around, and that is that, okay, we only have so many loads on the load board, because a lot of the loads just get sent to carriers and never make it to the list.
Well, that is very true. Like, Sue, I don't know how often you guys get direct.
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not off of Super Dispatch. Usually it's from Ready, but anyways.
Yeah. Well,
it's okay. It's okay to mention the competition.
That's all right. Listen.
Yeah,
well, I don't usually take them because they suck as far as prices go. So you know what? I don't usually do it.
We were so close.
No, but listen, hey, the competition's great. They've laid a great foundation for the market. But
absolutely,
yeah. When you look at, I think there was something in the chat earlier about, like, what are the available loads on a certain other load board, whatever it might be, and you might look at our load board and the volume changes pretty significantly even throughout a day or particularly throughout the week. But I think one thing you don't see, we talked about the marketplace earlier and the value of finding relationships. I'm looking for something and somebody else is looking for something. If you have a good experience with whoever that person you've done business with, that often turns into a shipper sending a direct load offer to a carrier and bypassing the load board. I think one of the things we bring to the table is we support that from both sides, so you never have to change your user experience. You never have to go get a different app. You never have to do whatever. It still keeps everything centralized all in one place, which is, hopefully makes everybody's lives easier.
Well, it is, right? Yeah, centralization of information usually makes everybody's lives easier, and that's
theoretical.
Yeah.
Well, and it especially makes it easier when tax season rolls around. right?
Oh my gosh, everybody's scrambling.
Yeah.
That's an interesting phenomenon, right? There's a what? Is there a period of time in the year where you see a higher? Hey, how do I get copies of, loads that I've moved, or how do I integrate with QuickBooks, or right?
Yeah, Sue, I mean, I don't know what you guys see, but we definitely see that in the spring.
yeah.
Hey, can I get access to my account? I need to get copies of all this stuff, whatever it might be. And so, yeah, I mean, you could ask our support team. They get calls. Like, how do I get this stuff to my account? Right? That happens every
Oh, and
spring.
it's super easy. I mean, how to get it all too.
Yep.
I mean, you can do it by the month, you can do it by the week, you can do it by the whole year.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Ooh, let's talk about reports. Curveball.
Curveball.
You have
Yeah,
reports
that's what we're talking about.
We do.
right? Yeah. Okay, I knew it.
Yeah. And you can build it however you want. You click the buttons, whatever you want to show for that report. And I mean, you can show the broker, you can show just the car, you can do it all.
Sue, what do you? I mean, you're the power user here on this. Like, what do you most commonly use from reports?
Well, honestly, I don't, but because I don't have to do that. The owners do, but I help them. I facilitate it. So
Got it.
I walk them through getting it and that kind of thing. I've literally, like, for example, there was an insurance claim where we got our truck wrecked, and they wanted to know what lost income we had. So all I had to do was pull off those months of what we would have lost and on average and send it to the insurance company so that they would pay them out that loss for the 2 months the
nice.
truck was
Super
down.
interesting use case.
What an interesting
So,
use.
it was
That is
awesome.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jay, I mean, reports, any field that's in the system you get to report against. We have some pre-built reports around driver pay reports or accounts payable reports, and then you can build all kinds of other reports into the system as well.
Yeah.
Or if you're an Excel junkie, you can just export all the data out and build all the reports you want outside the system too. So lots to.
I was gonna say, what did that look like in the days of paper, right? But Excel spreadsheets have been around for a while, but this is beyond Excel spreadsheets. This is, right?
Yeah, well, what it is listen, I would say it's designed to get you the data so that you can either have it formulated or not formulated, sort of aggregated from our system in a way that gets you what you want, right? So like you said, it's your driver pay reports or whatever you need. It is ultimately in a little bit of an Excel format, but the goal is easy access to the information,
right?
Easy access to the data,
Yeah.
and then you can do whatever you want with it. Yes, we have integrations with QuickBooks and things like that as well, which would also make your life a lot easier. But what we have found is that people want one of two things. They either want the data and effectively a spreadsheet so they can do pivot tables and run whatever they want to do, or they want to take that system and put it in their own business intelligence tool, right? Or a Tableau or something like that, right? So we just empower people to do that either directly through the user interface. You click export, or you can get it all programmatically out of the system if you have a tech team and a development team. Anything that you can basically through the system, with your cursor and your mouse or whatever it might be, you can do automatically through APIs.
I want to point out, because there's a carrier right now going, yeah, where do I get the loads? My point is this is Super Dispatch suite of products is not just a single owner operator tool to book loads and manage capacity, but also this is a business management software. If you're a business owner, you manage many trucks, you can also use the tool for that.
It is a TMS, a transportation management.
Or if you're a shipper doing all the above, this is also a tool for you.
You got it. Yeah, you got it, right?
That's right. And this is what it means to paint the full picture. It takes time.
Yeah. And and we're continuing to try to improve all facets of the product. We're trying to continue to improve how take feedback from folks like Sue, take feedback from people in the industry. What do people really care about? What are people most interested in? There's always knobs and dials and widgets you can build within the product. But ultimately, our focus is we're trying to make sure that when a car gets posted, that it gets booked, right? And the speed with which it gets booked is of utmost importance to everybody. And so that's where a lot of our energy is. And the fact that we need to have reputable businesses on both sides of the marketplace that trust each other. That's what we're trying to build.
And thus, we're looking for high load liquidity.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice. That was an incredible segment.
Thanks.
So thank you guys. Listen, I appreciate it. If anybody
much.
has any questions about Super Dispatch, you guys know where to find us, superdispatch.com. If anybody has questions for me, y'all can email me directly, stan@superdispatch.com.
Ooh, stan@superdispatch.com. It's in the live chat. Fantastic. There it is.
And if you're ever driving through Atlanta and you're parked on the side of the road somewhere in Marietta or Cobb County, and some random bald dude comes over and with a bag full of t-shirts, odds are it's me.
Stan is looking for car haulers in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to go talk to him, give him some swag, and find out what's going on.
Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome.
It's
That's
like
awesome.
It's a
A
blast.
couple there that live there.
That is awesome.
I do it all the time. I keep a box in my trunk of hats and t-shirts and water bottles, and every time I see somebody pulled over, they get freaked out at first, and then I show them the
Well, that's even Ty. Ty will walk up, and immediately the guy's like running away.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. It's always a good experience. So anyway,
It's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Stan,
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you.
Man. That was a great segment.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.
You too. Awesome.
All
Thanks,
right,
Stan.
we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, Stan. All right, so that was a great segment. I feel like, man, it's 1:15. So what we'll do is we will finish up the Welcome to Auto Transport segment stuff. Let's see. Oh, you can't see it here. Wait, share the screen. Okay, but before we do, Sue, takeaways.
Well, I mean, me and Stan had talked before we did the show, and we were talking about the alerts and stuff like that. I think it's a great idea, and yes, I haven't been using it. I'm going to start using it more. My problem is it's not. I was thinking of it more in the line of this is like a regular route, and I don't do regular routes. We chase the money, but it would be great to put it on where we're going next, so that it would alert us if there was something in that area. But if we don't know where we're going to, then it's kind of, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Once I know where I'm going, then I can do it. You know what I mean?
And that's the. I agree with you, but it is interesting how we know. And I thought of anchor load. I call them anchor loads.
Yep.
As soon as I book an anchor load, I know I'm committed to this route.
Right.
So this is a good time to set up a load alert instead of having to constantly stare at that route on that load board. Now, I'm going to have a lot, and this is where, if you have 5 drivers, there's still, I don't want anybody thinking, oh, well, I can fire all the dispatchers. No. There's still going to be tons of work to do.
Oh, yeah.
But what we hate is missing loads. Don't you hate it?
Oh, yeah.
When you go look at a load board and you're like, crap, where'd that come from?
Right.
And then you call it and it's gone, and you are really, you start having dark thoughts.
Right. Right. I want to kill somebody. Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. The missing a great load can really mess with your mind.
Yes.
Don't do that to yourself.
Puts a bad spin on the whole day.
I have beat myself up over.
Because you went to the bathroom and you came back and the load's already gone. God, I know.
No.
Why do you think we lunch at our desk?
And then you're like, oh, please, I hope the carrier didn't see that load.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. I'm just saying it.
Do it every time. I know. It never
God.
fails.
In fact, Don's called me, hey, did you get that truck? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, man, that was so good.
I know.
Oh, I could have sent the family to Disneyland for a year. Oh, God. So stop missing loads. Use load alerts. This is why you want technology and AI on your side. Especially I'll tell you, here's an interesting one. when that load finally adds more money but doesn't call you back, right?
Right.
How many times has that happened?
All the time. Like,
oh my
every
gosh!
time?
I have a whole theory about this. That I spend the time on the phone. I explain. Listen, if you just would add $100, we'll book it right now.
Yeah.
And then they finally add $100. Like days later, there's dead people in the streets.
Right.
And they don't call you.
No.
Because I don't know if it's a pride thing or, well, they don't have your number because they're using a Atari. I don't know what it is.
Well, they don't even usually take your info, right?
Exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly.
What
oh, yeah. We'll call you back. What's your,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And you're right. Well, or I've been called
Crazy.
days later and they're like, okay, we've raised the rate. And I'm like, I'm no longer there. I left, 4 days ago.
Yeah, we left a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish up our news segment. Hey, we've spoken in the past. I know we've shared some SE clients that screwed us over. Hey, I want to say I don't work with that guy named Blank that works at Blank and Blank LLC. He owes us over $1,300. Goes from dispatch company to dispatch company. Jay, why are you pointing this out? And I grade everything out. I'm telling you, everybody already knows about your SE business. All right?
Yeah.
Just because we report it live on YouTube, and we're really trying to protect. I didn't share any of those names, but everybody already knows. It's not. You're not. The bait and switch is the jig is up. Here's one. TQL does not answer the phones allegedly. I'm just reading. Has their stuff listed on Super. Finally, after an hour, requested low with continuous phone calls to get through. The guy answers, knows nothing about it.
Yep.
That's
Knew
awesome.
nothing about Super Dispatch. Yeah.
But, and what? You're the first person to ever run into this problem?
I got a story about that too.
Oh, do you? Go for it.
So, I finally get another 2-pack from them. Finally get through to them and get a different load. And so there's no phone number to call on delivery and it's picking up from a dealership. And they're like, well, you have to pick up by 3:30 because the guy only comes in to meet you or something like that. It was really weird. Okay. So I said, well, we like to call to let them know we're coming, blah, 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 blah. And I don't understand why it's 3:30. The dealership's open till like 7 or 8. Well, the guy won't give me the phone number or a name of who to pick it up from. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So when my driver got there, and he finally got through to the guy on the phone, by the way, because I kept leaving messages for whoever because I didn't know who the hell it was. Anyways, he gets a hold of him and shows up, and the guy's like, well, why didn't you call? And he goes, we weren't allowed to be given the phone number. And you know why I was told I wasn't given the phone number? Because the broker said it was because this guy was a grumpy old man, and they didn't want me to talk to him because he was pissed off. I said, okay. So when the driver talks to him, he says, I hate this company. I hate this other broker company. They never do anything to say. They never answer the phones. Well, he's grumpy because they're a bunch of assholes. That's what it was. And I don't blame him. And I'm just like, okay. So I try to reach out to him to make sure everything went okay. I haven't heard back from him yet. But yeah, that's the problem. I think the bigger...
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
No, you think the bigger... What were you going to say?
The bigger broker companies do not understand customer service whatsoever.
I was going to say... Well, it's funny. This idea that if you hide everybody's phone number... And I thought it was really interesting what Stan said. Given the right feedback, they were like, put the phone number up. This belief that you can, like, keep people from, like, communicating... It's not real anymore.
No, and
it's
ridiculous.
Right, when there was Morse code and Pony Express, maybe. But you're right. I mean, it's time. We're,
it's just crazy.
It is crazy. And so you don't think the driver's going to show up and meet the person?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
We're eventually going to talk to him.
You're going to wait till that moment?
Well, and check this out. When my driver called that guy, he's like, "No, you can pick up later than 3:30." What the hell are they talking about?
I've had that so many times too. Okay, this gets me into the VIP, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there you go.
But every time I booked a VIP load, nobody could have anybody's phone numbers.
Right.
And I
Right.
hated talking to mission control.
You're right.
Okay.
Because they know nothing.
Oh,
either.
God, it was horrible. It really was horrible.
You're right.
Oh, it's terrible. And what was my point? What did you say?
About them not giving out names and numbers and not being liked. And what I had said was the big brokers do not understand customer
Yeah.
service.
Well, it was
They
something
really do
about
not.
the VIP program, but
Oh, well, yeah, that's stupid
probably
too.
better that I
Yeah.
got off it. All right, let's move forward. Is anyone having the same problem? Auctions are verifying cars with us, but no transporters are picking up any cars. I got 200 cars in my lots right now. Do you know how crazy the repossession transport problem is getting?
I'm sure.
It's freaking nuts. And here's another one where the customer, so the client, this is what's fun. She says, tell the banks they need to pay us storage or get the cars off the lots. See, it's the disconnect between sales and operations.
Mm-hmm.
Lenders don't know the fist fights happening and why.
Right.
There are fist fights because now there is a new law. Well, there is a new law, but there's also a call. There's this. I don't have it in the news because it's going to be on Tuesday night. It just came out. There's a new requirement and attention to transporters need certificates of insurance at repo lots they're going to pick up at. I'm going to say that
Really?
again. Yeah. Okay. When you book a load and it's picking up at a repo lot, Sue, do you normally have a certificate of insurance for that repo lot?
No. I mean, they carry a blank
Oh,
one
you
in the
already answered.
trucks, but not out
Right.
to,
Okay.
them specifically.
Okay, there's going to be a new initiative for carriers that... Now, this is if you go on the property. And this gets into... You know how some repo lots are like, oh, we got to bring it out to you.
Mm-hmm. They don't want you on the property.
Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? I never understood that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's an insurance problem. If the transporter goes on the repo lot, everything changed. Now you need a certificate of insurance. Sometimes additional insurance is going to be required. And the thing is, they can't bring it out to you half the time because the darn thing doesn't have an axle. Right?
Right.
Because
Right.
when they tried to
Right.
and the reason it doesn't have an axle is when they went to repossess the car, that guy, he doesn't want to let go of the Escalade he can't pay for. So he's going to drive it off the lift, tear up all the wheels, destroy the windows, go crazy. So now that's why it's a messed up mess when the transporter gets there. I mean, I don't know if you can measure the pessimism in that comment. Okay, so if the transporter can't get on the lot without a COI or additional insurance, and that repo load's not paying any better than some used car sitting, that's a 10-mile walk at a Mannheim, which one are you going to book?
Right.
You're not going to book the repo. You're going to
No.
walk 10 miles of Mannheim.
Yeah. On top of the fact
Which
that
again,
it's crazy hours.
You should
and
measure
stuff
the
like that.
pessimism.
Yeah.
All right. It's auto transport. I mean, hey, United Roads got a, let's see, what is this? You got to add damage to the Magnus app. If you don't, this is, somebody messed up and then they sent an email.
Yeah.
So if damage does occur during loading or unloading, damage must be added to the app, must be reported. You're not authorized under any circumstances to conceal damage by repairing the vehicle. This is it,
On your
right?
own.
How many times does somebody get it fixed at Joey's garage before they deliver? This happens all the time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
It's I don't know how to actually I'm not going to weigh in. I'm just saying somebody's on to you. The jig is up. The jigs are up. AutoSled has a post on LinkedIn unmasking double brokering in auto transport. What are we talking about? Somebody's like, what's double brokering? Double brokering is a practice where motor carriers accept a load with the intention. Oh, I fully intend to let somebody else carry this for me, and I'm just going to take a cut. Well, that would be double brokering.
It's happening a lot. Or they're stealing
the
cars.
time. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you're putting people at risk. Shippers lose control of the vehicle. They're exposed to liability they never agreed to. Transporters aren't getting paid. Brokers has to deal with the mess. Turns into fraudulent activity and all kinds of other problems. So again, if you're like right now, you're a carrier. If you're a carrier, you have no broker's license. You're trying to make your customer happy, and you're just gonna rebroker that load on their behalf.
Don't do it.
You can't do that.
No.
You know at soccer games, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm not saying it won't happen, and I don't even work here, but I'm just reporting the news.
Yes. Stay away from transporters that are doing that because
And
they're also
here's the
not
thing,
paying you.
it's getting momentum.
Mm-hmm.
This is an Overdrive magazine. FMCSA should pick up the pace on broker transparency. A lot of people are talking about it. Shoot, AutoSled posted on LinkedIn. Here's a question for you. How many people on LinkedIn know what a big problem double brokering is in auto transport? Right? I don't know. But the word is getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the word is getting out, and it's a problem. And, oh, yes, you figured out how to get certs on Progressive
Oh,
again.
yeah. Yeah.
We'll do
we
that
probably
next
should
show.
show that.
Yeah,
Okay,
or you want to do it now? Well, how long does it take?
I mean, it depends. There's a lot of people do not understand it's working now,
Oh, well-
but it's all weird.
Well,
It's
do you-
totally different than what it
Does
normally
the
is.
live chat, you
Yeah.
want to see the demonstration of how to get Progressive certs again? I'll tell you what, if I was a dispatcher, I would want to know. We haven't even looked for loads today.
No.
There's so much news. This is crazy. But actually, we've been off for 2 weeks. I'll look at the calendar now. We'll do a show next Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do a show next Thursday.
Okay. We can do it then.
You want to do it next week? All right. We'll
Yeah,
do it
I mean,
next week.
I unless nobody's really saying anything. Well, BGA said
Oh,
yes.
BGA says yes. All right, well, BGA, this one's for you. You want to take the screen?
Yep, I'll share the screen.
All right, cool. All
Well,
right.
you got to let me share the screen.
Oh, I know. Oh, no, I did give you... you should try it again.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yep, got it now.
All right,
All
cool.
right. Okay, so I'm in someone's policy right now. So you go to commercial auto first, like usual. The first beginning parts of it are the same. And I'm sorry, my internet sucks, so this may take a minute.
Ah,
Okay, so we're going to go in. You still go to get a certificate of insurance.
Okay.
Then
I have
it's
always
going to
liked
switch.
this system, by the way. In my early days of dispatching, two of my favorite systems were booking loads on Ready Logistics. Yeah, I just said that. And the other was getting certificates on Progressive. No, I really liked
I
Ready.
agree.
Ready helped me a lot in the early days.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So here we are where now it says get certificate of insurance. So you have to click on this. You click other.
Okay.
Then you fill this all out. I'm
Okay.
just going to do one for myself so you guys
okay.
can see. Because there's more to it.
Okay. If you're just joining us now, we're almost done, but we're doing how to fill out a certificate of insurance.
Okay, so now we do this.
Demonstration.
Now you go down to the next part where it says vehicles. So you want to
Vehicles.
click all the vehicles because, of course, everybody wants to see what kind of equipment.
Your equipment. Yep.
Yep.
Truck
Then
and
it's
trailer.
next.
Yep.
Then select all coverages. It's just way easier.
Okay.
Then hit next again. Now you're going to
Okay.
decide whether you want to print, download, or email. I always do both because if they
Ooh.
don't get it, I've got it.
For sure.
Now it will send it immediately to the owner. I always
Okay.
unclick it because they don't care about that.
Yeah.
I'll change it to send to a different email. So
Yeah.
now you have to put in you have to verify the email
Okay.
as well.
Oh, and BGA pointed out repo lot time restrictions. Oy vey.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then I just copy and paste it because it's easier than typing everything back in. All right, and then just submit. All right, so it's going to email it to them straight, and then immediately it pops up with my copy, which is kind of cool. Well,
Nice.
It didn't, but it usually
Okay,
does.
you can print it.
So,
Yeah.
Right. All right, so then
Nice.
you can print it.
Ooh.
I just download it.
This is the
and I
Accord
save it.
format, by the way. This is called the Accord, and it says Accord up in the upper left.
Yeah.
The Accord format is my favorite format for
Yeah.
certificates of insurance.
And there you go. There's everything. Your second page has all of their equipment listed,
Beautiful.
all their
Wow.
coverages.
That
And
was
there you go.
fast.
Yeah. It's a little bit longer than what it used to be because you have to click a few more pages, but
Yeah.
you know, it's working at least. And it's
Wow.
working when you email it to the people now. Before it wasn't even working when you emailed it to them. So now everything's working again.
Oh, that's awesome.
In fact, I just got my cert sent to me just now. That's how fast I got it.
Wow. Oh my gosh. There was an insurance company I used to work with, and I'd have to like figure out when to call them and how to say pretty please and
That
oh
still
my
happens.
gosh.
That's still,
It
I
still
mean, I have
happens?
several of them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, what happens, what I have found is a lot of newbies will go out and just get insurance through someone local who doesn't know anything about what we do. And they do not understand the importance of how fast we need a certificate of insurance, that they do not hold loads. So usually when we get somebody like that, we call up the agent and we say, look, you got to understand this is what's going on. This is why we need them right then. And there's a lot of them will tell you we don't send them out for 24 to 48 hours. And I'm like, that is not going to work.
Dude,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, oh my
Not gonna work.
gosh.
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to drive 500 miles and get you in the truck so you can see what this really looks like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
They do
this
not
is
understand what we do and how we
crazy.
do it. Yeah.
Oh my, no, it's nuts. No,
Yeah.
you literally need it ASAP.
Yeah. Because within 5 minutes at the at the latest, just because nobody holds loads anymore.
Well,
So
that's, oh my
they already
gosh.
signed up. Another company
No
calls in and
kidding.
they're signed up. They're giving that load to them.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's
And
gone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And so
Sucks.
here you are now, as we were talking about with repo lots and certificates of insurance. Here you go to the repo lot. All right, fine. You booked the load. You know, twisted my arm. I'm gonna go pick it up. I'm at there, and they need a certificate of insurance. I need this thing now. They're only gonna be open for another
Right.
half hour,
Right.
right? And I've got an appointment, and you know how that rolls.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, I hate to say it, usually Progressive is cheaper than most other places too.
Well, that's
So,
that
keep that
actually.
in mind.
Well, that should be a bonus tip.
Yeah.
Is that I
Plus you can do that.
most of the carriers that I worked with had Progressive. So whenever I hear like
Most of mine do.
I
too.
can't get Progressive or if I'm not happy with Progressive, I usually am like, man, that blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But,
agree.
You know, it happens. What else?
Yeah.
I think we're almost done here. Just last thing.
Yeah.
Skip Kavanaugh posted an article about real-time tracking compliance for auto hauling. Is it a big deal? It's expected. Dealers know it. Fleet managers know it. Auctions, consumers, everybody believes that every auto transporter has a beacon on the top of their truck with a little spinning radar like it's Ghostbusters. They think this.
Yeah.
So when they find out they can't track their load even within, 500 miles of its actual location, they go ballistic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to change.
No, I
Your
think it's gonna get
ETA... Dang it. I'm just getting upset.
Now, here's the thing. I like the super dispatch tracking because I can tell where my drivers are at and I can just tell them over the phone, this is where they're at. So,
Well, and it should be. I mean, can it be that simple? And by the way, isn't there business hours tracking? And like from 8 to 5, Monday through
Yeah.
Friday.
yeah.
If you're hauling loads, can we track you within like 10 miles of, I don't need
Yeah.
to know exactly. I don't need to know
Right.
that you're at Wendy's. I don't
Right.
care. I just want to
Right.
know what freaking city you're in.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
And then
Yes.
at 5 o'clock, when or whatever, then
Shuts
when you're
down.
on your personal time, it just shows up wherever you were during business hours.
Right.
That's
I agree.
fine.
Right.
That would
I
be
agree.
huge.
That's not what they want, though.
And well, here's the thing. Well, we have to explain to people. Listen, you're not going to know he's at Wendy's. That's. How about this? Hey, customer, where are you right now? Huh?
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What, are you at
How
work
would you feel
shopping?
about it?
Because I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about it. Right.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
let's be real. Let's set realistic expectations, which is another thing we're talking about here on ATI.
Right.
My gosh, that's why it's endless content. If you see this, you're dealing with a podcast. Get it? More people are listening to the podcast because it's such a long show. It's a great way to absorb all this long-winded
I can
nonsense.
listen. Yeah.
It's ATI Auto Business. We're really trying to help. If you don't know what's happening or you're ready to okay, that's it. I like these guys. Call or text Ty 417-483 2764. And gals, it's the Car Shipment Business channel, and we really are here trying to help. So that's the show. Everybody for jumping in the live chat, saying hello. We really appreciate you. Shout out and thank you to Stan and Super Dispatch. It was an awesome segment. Honestly, I think he was with us for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a long time, but it flew by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really,
Awesome
really informative and
information.
helpful. And so if you are, right, you're like, man, I got to get on Dispatching Live and do a segment and, educate folks about my stuff. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. This is the neutral zone. Everybody is welcome here, even dispatchers.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Especially
okay.
dispatchers.
So, especially dispatchers. Okay, even
We are
brokers.
teaching dispatching.
Even brokers are welcome here. We were accused by somebody of catering to brokers.
Really?
I'm like, what are you thinking?
No.
Man, are we misunderstood? Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because there's never been a neutral zone before. Name another
Oh,
neutral
that's
zone.
true.
No. Where everybody's welcome, dispatchers, brokers,
yeah.
carriers, shippers. No. There's
Anyone?
forums, there's threads, there's Facebook pages, but there's always usually one group dominating the conversation. And here it's me and you. Okay, that's terrible news. No wonder nobody watches. Want to thank everybody. Thanks again. And tomorrow, Ty is going to be live at a dealership. Now, we're going to go live at 2 o'clock. All right. Rapid Recon Luxury and Imports dealership in Leavenworth, Kansas. Ty will be live there. Hey, Jay, instead of such great news, why don't you give us the link? Here's the link for Friday's show. Cars on the Move, COTM link. Okay. Put that in the live chat. And if you missed Friday's show, Tuesday night, oh man, we were talking about vehicle recovery. Tuesday night, vehicle recovery roundtable is going to be huge Tuesday night. I think there's like 10 people, maybe more. And a couple special guests. That's going to be cool. So we got some cool programming coming up. You know the drill. We'll be back again on Thursday with more Dispatching Live. And, yeah, that's it. Anything to add? Final thoughts?
No, I think we hit everything right on the
And we really
head
did.
right today. So.
And we even covered the progressive thing, too. So I don't
Yeah.
think I've got any layover news. Layover news is news we didn't get to. I think we got to everything.
I think we did too.
We even got to hiding a truck inside of a truck.
Surprise!
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
pay the extra $50. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you again on another ATI show near you. What do we say, office?
What do we say, office? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks everybody.
Bye,
We'll
guys.
see you again soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, see you. Bye.